medical principal Dr. Pardiwala. Listen.
UWW के नियमों और विनियमों के अनुसार सभी प्रतियोगिताओं के लिए संबंधित श्रेणी के लिए प्रत्येक सुबह वजन माप का आयोजन किया जाता है। अनुच्छेद 11 के अनुसार यदि कोई एथलीट वजन माप प्रथम अथवा द्वितीय में भाग नहीं लेता है अथवा असफल हो जाता है तो उसे प्रतियोगिता से बाहर कर दिया जाता है और बिना किसी रैंक के अंतिम स्थान पर रखा जाता है। विनेश का वजन 50 किलो 100 ग्राम पाया गया, इसलिए वे स्पर्धा के लिए अयोग्य घोषित की गई। इस मामले को लेकर भारतीय ओलंपिक संघ ने अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कुश्ती संघ से कड़ा विरोध भी दर्ज किया है। नेशनल भारतीय ओलंपिक संघ की अध्यक्षा PT उषा भी अभी पेरिस में है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने स्वयं उसके साथ बातचीत करके उचित कार्यवाही करने के लिए, उचित एक्शन लेने के लिए भी उसको कहा गया है।
Sometimes there's also a factor of a rebound weight gain following competition. Now Vinesh had 3 bouts and hence to prevent any dehydration, some amount of water had to be given. We found that her post-participation weight was increased more than normal, and the coach initiated the normal process of weight cut that he has always employed with Vinesh. However, in the morning we found that despite all of our efforts, her weight was 100 grams over her 50 kilogram weight category, and hence she was disqualified.
The opposition was of course not willing to take the health minister or the team medical principal at face value. Moments after his statement in the Lok Sabha, the India bloc staged a walkout. All morning after the heartbreaking news broke, the Congress in particular cried conspiracy. It implied that the NDA had robbed Vinesh of a medal to get even with her for staging an anti-government protest. Many of you will remember Vinesh being dragged away by police in the capital, accusing it of going soft on then Wrestling Federation chief Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, who she accused of sexual harassment. Listen in to the Congress reaction today, viewers, on the disqualification.
It was okay when she fought 3 bouts and won all 3 in one day. How can it go up by 100 grams? If this is not a conspiracy, what is? Modi ji is only doing a consolation tweet. We don't want a consolation tweet from Prime Minister. We want justice from Prime Minister.
The BJP has hit back at the Congress, accusing it of conspiring to use Vinesh as a political prop, just as it did with farmers and OBCs. The BJP claims that the Congress is invested in whipping up public hysteria over events to generate hate against the NDA. Let's examine if this charge against the Congress holds up. Does the party borrow from a playbook aimed at creating instability and whipping up sentiments against the Modi government in the hope that it collapses in the face of public disaffection? This isn't merely a rhetorical question. Top Congress leader and Gandhi family loyalist Salman Khurshid today created a stir by warning that, quote, violence, unquote, of the kind seen in Bangladesh against the Hasina regime was, quote, possible in India despite the appearance of normalcy on the surface, unquote. The BJP hit back hard at the Congress, accusing it of inciting the public against the NDA. The BJP believes that all these efforts by the Congress are an attempt to exploit the fault lines in society to break India. Listen in to Salman Khurshid and then the BJP's response.
Everything may look normal in Kashmir, everything may look normal here. We may be celebrating the victory, although of course some people believe that that victory or that success of 2024 was perhaps only marginal, perhaps a lot more needs to be done. But the fact remains that under the surface there is a worrisome thing about what's happening in Bangladesh. But what's happening in Bangladesh can happen here. It's just that Bangladesh is a concentration of much that we have in our country.
Congress party says that it stands with the government of India as far as the issue of Bangladesh is concerned, because this is not a political issue. No politics should be done on it. But leaders like Salman Khurshid try to provoke and incite the people of India, saying that whatever happened in Bangladesh, the violence that took place there can take place in India too. This is yet another instance of Congress party putting Rajniti over Rashtaniti. Is Salman Khurshid, who compared Hindutva with ISIS and Boko Haram, trying to say that Indian democratic institutions are so weak? Is Salman Khurshid and his ilk trying to undermine the Indian armed forces, which has always kept itself away from any kind of political activity? This is the same Congress party which in Modi Virod time and again has descended into Desh Virod, sometimes asking for foreign intervention into India, sometimes betraying and berating the Indian institutions of democracy on foreign soil, and now Salman Khurshid is saying this.
The BJP sums all of this up as an attempt to destabilize India, to pick again, viewers, at fault lines, social fault lines, whether propping up Kisan, OBCs, or individuals like Vinesh Phogat. Now here's a fact check that analyzes the issues raised by the Congress and assesses whether they stand the test of scrutiny, at least on the question of moral honesty. The first issue is, of course, the disqualification of Vinesh. The Congress's standpoint is simple, that it's a plot against Vinesh Phogat for protesting against Modi government. You have heard Congress spokespeople come out and say that. But what is really the truth? It's not the first time. Vinesh Phogat had run into the same problem at the Asian qualifiers for the 2016 Olympics. Competing in the 48 kilogram division, Vinesh just couldn't drop the final 1 kilogram of water. In her own words, and I quote her, "It just wouldn't happen. I tried everything. Finally, I stopped sweating. That's when I knew it wouldn't come down," unquote. Viewers, there was no motive back then to put down Vinesh Phogat. Yet she suffered the same cruel blow that fate dealt her this time around too. It's too much of a coincidence to suggest that there is a conspiracy, viewers. Think about that. The second issue that we're going to focus on is the Kisan Andolan against farm laws. You remember the farm laws? What was the Congress stand? It demanded that the NDA repeal the 3 farm laws, claiming that they were tailored for private players to operate exploitative grain procurement mandis as an alternate to the ones under the existing Agriculture Produce Market Committee or APMC regime. Basically, the Congress was saying that the APMC are the best for Congress to get remunerative prices, for the farmers to get remunerative prices. Don't leave them at the mercy of the open market. But what do the facts tell us? The Congress on April 2, 2019 in its manifesto pledged exactly the same reforms as were contained in the NDA's 3 farm laws. The manifesto said, and I quote, "Congress will repeal the Agricultural Produce Market Committee or APMC Act and make trade in agricultural produce, including exports and interstate trade, free from all restrictions," unquote. That is exactly what Modi was trying to do. Issue 3, MSP law. It's been a big issue, viewers. The Congress stand. Just a week ago, Rahul Gandhi met the leaders of that same anti-farm law stir during COVID and promised to back their protest demanding an MSP law. What do the facts say? In 2010, when the UPA bloc was ruling, the Congress had dismissed the Swaminathan report that recommended an MSP law, saying it could, quote, "distort the market," unquote. So it was bad then, viewers, but it is suddenly good now. And the farmers are a very strong lobby in this country. You want to incite them, you're playing with fire. Issue 4, the caste census. This, viewers, was an issue that the Congress brought up in the 2024 Lok Sabha poll run-up. Rahul rallied OBCs with his "Jitni Abadi Utna Haq" slogan, accusing the NDA of resisting a caste census because Modi was, quote, "amending the constitution to deny OBCs reservations," unquote. What does the Congress 2024 manifesto state? It states, "We will conduct a nationwide socio-economic and caste census to enumerate the castes and subcastes and their socio-economic conditions. Based on the data, we will strengthen the agenda for affirmative action, unquote. But what does the fact check tell us, viewers? Congress historically opposed quotas. Ex-Prime Minister late Rajiv Gandhi opposed the Mandal Commission report and measures for the promotion of employment for youth in addition to reservations for socially and educationally backward classes. Rajiv dismissed the Mandal Commission report, claiming it was an attempt at, quote, breaking up my country, he said, unquote. Former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was also opposed to implementing Mandal Commission report. Gandhi famously said she was against, quote, na jaat par, na paat par, unquote, politics. Congress is yet to release the results of the Karnataka caste census data, viewers, the same caste census that they champion. Issue 5, the Waqf Amendment Bill. The Congress stand, amendments to the Waqf Act in 1995 are anti-Muslim and reek of communal bias. We heard the same kind of argument, viewers, used in the context of the CA, and we know what happened. Massive protests, rioting, even in the Union capital, at a time when President Trump was visiting, viewers, in 2020. What does the fact check tell us on this issue? The proposed amendments, vetted and endorsed by several Muslim community leaders. Most backed the amendments in Waqf Act 1995 to make the working of Waqf boards more transparent, less patriarchal and less arbitrary. These are the facts, viewers. Yet, time and again, the Congress party is trying desperately to spark that ignite, light that fire around one or two issues, or maybe more, or a series of issues to incite people. That's the charge. Let's open this up, viewers. I don't want to waste too much time. I have tried to set this particular context in detail so people don't troll me, sue me, and accuse me of being partisan. It's very important to say these things, viewers, today. I want to first begin with senior journalist Boria Majumdar. There is no better person to talk about sport, controversy, most importantly, how things work internationally. Now, Boria, thanks very much for speaking to me. We're speaking after quite a long hiatus. It's great to see you, but it's a sad day because our hearts are broken. Vinesh Phogat has lost her medal, disqualified. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I in my 30 years of covering sport, this is one of the biggest heartbreaks, if not the biggest. I mean, to lose out an Olympic gold medal possibility by 100 grams. And if I give you the sequence of events, Rahul, I mean, not many people know what happened. I mean, here there are two weigh-ins, and now the rule that United World Wrestling has implemented is every athlete has to go in for two weigh-ins. So yesterday, under 50 kilograms, that is when she was permitted to fight for her category. And the rule is, you basically over the last 14 days push your weight up to by about 5 kilos and bring it down. That's how every athlete does, every wrestler does. So Vinesh Phogat has also done that. And the last 24 hours before a weigh-in, you don't have food, you don't have water, you don't have anything, so that you can basically get your body into that weight category of the 50 kilograms. She did that. After the weighing in happens, you have to eat something that's called a recovery meal, because you have to fight 3 bouts within the day. Now, she had her recovery meal and thereafter went on to fight the 3 bouts. I met her at the mix zone after the semi-final, and she's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
I said, can we talk? And she said, sir, kal baat karte hain, mujhe weight dena hai. So clearly, weight was on her mind, and she went in, and the recovery meal, which obviously adds to her body weight again, and the natural body weight kicks back in, that is when she checked, her body weight in the evening had come back to 52.7. So clearly, between 8 p.m. Paris time and 7 a.m. Paris time today morning, she had to reduce it by 2.7 kilos. They tried everything. They tried sweat therapy. They tried cycling, sauna, running, skipping, jumping. At 4 a.m. in the morning, she said she's willing to cut her hair. She said, shave off my hair if you want to, if that saves me 100 grams. At about 4:30, they were about to give up. But then somehow they thought they'd managed it till about 6:30 a.m. in the morning, when she finally went in for her weigh-in, Rahul, at 7.
Right.
Between 7:15 and 7:30, she was 100 grams more. A rule is a rule. India appealed, but clearly
No,
between you and me, it's all tokenism because the rule is sacrosanct.
The rule is sacrosanct. But Mr. Majumdar, look, is there an element of mismanagement?
Now you might say, you might interpret it in two ways. One, people have worked immensely hard on it because the whole team, whether it's Dr. Padiwala has issued a statement also, the physios, the sports scientists, the physiotherapists, the nutritionists, everyone worked on it. But their calculation was that the recovery meal and everything that she had during the day, which is basically water and fluids, would add back 1.5 kilos. And they are on record saying that. But the calculation clearly did not work because the natural weight also kicked back in and she added 2.7 kilos. Now 1200 grams, you actually miscalculated. Either it is natural body weight that kicked back in, which you did not predict, or you were not able to do it the proper way. So this is subject to interpretation. Everyone has worked their hardest. I am not reading a conspiracy theory into it. I'm giving you the facts here. And the fact is they thought 1.5 kilos is what she might add and they'll be able to reduce it. In actuality, it was 2.7 kilos that got added. And those 1200 extra grams, they tried to do everything all night. Everyone worked, including Vinesh herself, worked the maximum, but unfortunately 100 grams they weren't able to reduce. So if you want to read mismanagement, if you want to read something there, you have a possibility to, but on the other hand, you might just say this was the accident that India could have, India did not expect, and the accident of a humongous nature, you can say that also. I'm not willing to pin blame on anyone, but I will say that this is a sport which depends on weight management. This is a sport that is entirely dependent on how professionally you can manage weight of a particular athlete, and in this case, we weren't able to do by 100 grams.
And Boria Majumdar, this is not the first time this has happened to Vinesh. Let's be clear about that, isn't it? There has been a struggle also in the past.
No, it has not. I mean, and in Paris, other athletes have also suffered. If you see, there is a 65 kilogram athlete who got disqualified. There's a 57 kilogram male athlete who got disqualified. In Vinesh's case, in Rio, she tried to do it. But thereafter, in Rio, she went and fought. She raised her category to 53. But the truth is, Rahul, in this case, yes, many people might say she's a 53 kilogram wrestler. She was fighting in the 50. But in Bishkek, in the qualification, she did manage. In Spain, in the Grand Prix, she did manage. In Bulgaria, in the qualification tournament, and rather in the lead-up tournament, she did manage. In yesterday, during the weigh-in for the first 3 rounds, including that win against Susaki, she did manage. So it's not as if they've not been able to manage. So what is it that in that final thing, we were not able to manage? We calculated 1.5 and it went up by 2.7. Now, as I said, I'm not willing to pin blame on anyone, and I'm not reading conspiracy theory, but it's hurting me, it's hurting India, it's hurting Vinesh, because we have lost our date with history and she has lost a possible Olympic gold medal.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Boria Majumdar, what is the message that you have for all of those, especially in the Congress, etc., and you've heard them tonight, who are politicizing this, reading conspiracy theories into this, weaving a narrative into this?
Don't. This is not about the Congress party. By the way, I'm not a BJP person or a Congress person or a Trinamool person, and you know that more than anyone. During our journalistic days, we worked together for several years in the past, and I'm completely objective. I'm a sports writer and a sports reporter and a sports correspondent, and I've got nothing to do with politics. So I will say this clearly: Vinesh was winning that medal for India, not for the BJP or the Congress party. Vinesh was, the tricolour would have gone up for India, the 1.4 billion. So for God's sake, at this point in time, do not add to her pain or to her misery. Stand by her. She emotionally needs India to stand by her at this point in time.
Well, we need to ask more questions. Boria Majumdar, thank you very much for joining me. I know you're in a rush and you have to do another live, but thank you very much for setting the stage here. We'll also be joined by Vinesh's uncle in a short while, but I want to open this up and I want to bring in Sanjay Jha, the BJP national spokesperson, as well as Dr. Ranganathan. Familiar faces, viewers, but important in the context of this debate, because they are very, very clear in the manner in which they speak. And they tend to be well researched. So Sanjay Jha, I want to ask you, you've been involved with sport extensively, and we go back many, many years. In fact, about 15, 20 years when you first were with an important website that you yourself had launched, and you were very active in the sports arena. I want to ask you, why is the Congress party adding to the pain? Why does it want to use Ms. Phogat now, after the OBCs and after, as I've just said, the farmers and several others, to stick something onto the Prime Minister, to incite passions in this country, to bring people out onto the streets? Why would you want to do this? You've just heard Beria saying, don't add to her pain, for God's sakes.
Okay, Rahul, let me just put my thoughts out in the middle. Just don't interrupt me, because this is a very emotional subject. I think for every Indian who was watching yesterday's semi-final bout and the India versus Germany hockey match, 140 crore people are involved. This subject is being talked about everywhere in the country today. There's a reason. There's a reason. She was fighting for a medal for our country. If she had won it today, it would be the first gold medal for us in the Olympics. And here is the truth. This is not something which you can just pick up in an incident of the last 24 hours. It has a backstory. And I'll tell you why the backstory is relevant. But let's look at the scenario today. Tell me, in the biggest match of her life, this is her last Olympics in all probability, she has to go through in the night a haircut. She has to sit in sauna. She has to have blood drawn out of her. She has to exercise. She's not going to sleep. If any one of us on the panel or viewers had to go through that, would be in a position to have a regular day in the office. And she, Rahul, had to fight the biggest match of her life. Here is the question that we all need to ask ourselves. What provoked, what was the trigger where there was so much of desperation where she had to even consider cutting her hair and had to be hospitalized? And I was hearing from some sports people that I know well, she was in a very critical condition. Why did that happen? As a sports person, you and I have played tennis together, Rahul. A basic elementary sports player focuses on his craft and art. At the Olympic level, there are people who are supposed to take care of these nutrition, rest, hydration dynamics. And I go back to what she said publicly, Rahul, go back to that. And I would request you to pull it out and put it for your viewers. She said in the month of April that I don't trust the people who are going to be part of my coaching team because they'll be appointed by the same people who are close to Brijbhushan Singh, the man who's central to this conversation, a BJP former member of parliament, accused of sexual harassment, who has a charge sheet against him by the Delhi police, which is 1 year old, and Mr. Narendra Modi's government has done nothing for the last 1 year. And that is the critical point. She went to the extent of saying that I fear that the coaches may be even involved in destroying my career, destroying my life by doing doping and completely besmirching my entire integrity. Here is one more point two more points before I wrap up, Rahul. There's a lot more we can talk about, and I'm sure you'll give me a chance to come in. Here is the point. If an athlete who was supposed to be fighting in the 53 kilo category, why did she have to fight in the 50 kilo category? You know the answer? Because she was protesting on the streets for Sakshi Malik, for all the 6 other women who were brutally harassed by this man. Brijbhushan saying that Narendra Modi and his team were trying to protect. And did Mr. Modi find even 1 minute to talk to her? Did Mr. Modi even speak to her during the time when she was in the streets of Delhi begging for justice? Somebody needs to answer that question.
Let's so just a couple of things.
Intimidated by the powers that be.
Yeah, just a couple of things.
To the people of India.
Just a couple of things.
This is an insult to the people of India today.
Viewers' heart goes out to her, but you know we can't let people ride roughshod over the facts. And before I bring in Sanju Verma and Dr. Ranganathan, I just want to point out a couple of things. Mr. Jha says, why did she have to contest in 50 kilo category? It was because she was in a protest, this, that, the other. She missed out on trials, blah, blah, blah.
She could not play the Asian Games,
Right.
Rahul.
I'm saying so.
And
No, just one second. Excuse me.
Antim was chosen for
Sir,
the
let me see. Others are also waiting their turn. I'm just putting out some facts. For the Rio Olympics viewers, she tried out for the 48 kilogram category. I just put those facts out. She couldn't bring her weight down. She was already wanting to come down so that she could be more effective. 48 is what she tried for. Eventually, she had to go up the category ladder. This was a completely strategic decision, nothing to do with anything, viewers. At the start of her career, she wanted to be in the 48 kilogram category. She contested
Rahul,
another bout.
correction.
No, 1 second. So it's
Rahul, I'm fact checking you.
Okay.
Had she played the Asian Games, if she was not doing protest on the street,
Sir,
she would have got her category.
she was in
Asian
Bishkek.
Games.
She was in this category in Bishkek, in Spain, in Bulgaria. In 3 recent events. Much before. And she did fantastically well. Have we forgotten these facts? How can we be so completely dismissive of a trajectory that Vinesh Phogat has taken by choice and excelled in? 1. 2. Don't trust my coaching team is what Sanjay Jha said. She had to say about the apparatus.
She said it.
I know, I'm saying so.
She has said it.
Yes. So she said
this
it.
can't be a
She said
monologue
it. She
by
said it.
Sanjay Jha.
She said it. That same coaching team got her into the finals, viewers. Got her to win other events in the lead up to the Olympics.
Rahul.
She was
Yes.
scared of not even
Sanju
being
Varma.
allowed to
Sanju
qualify
Varma,
for the
May I
come in, and
please?
Dr. Ranganathan
Rahul.
after that. Yes, go ahead. Make your point.
May I please?
Yeah.
And I also do not wish to be interrupted because I heard very patiently.
Yes, no one
some
is interrupting
so-called
you.
facts.
Please continue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. You don't even allow me to finish my sentence, Rahul. Can you please not rush me? Because I don't wish to be impolite like the Congress panelist. Let me state some hard facts for your viewers. Point number 1, unequivocally, every Indian today is sad, is deeply anguished and angry at the turn of events, whatever our political affiliation may or may not be. And I too, as a bona fide Indian citizen, am deeply sad and upset, and my heart goes out to Vinesh Phogat, so close and yet so far. But since this is a debate, this is a panel, as you rightly said at the outset, it focuses on the hard, uncomfortable truth. It may be unpalatable to a few, but be that as it may, I want to read out a very interesting tweet by a journalist, a political commentator, who I have shared the panel with on your channel. He writes for First Post. This is Abhijit Majumdar.
Yeah.
He's posted this tweet today on X at about 6:27 p.m. and he's also posted Dinsha Pardiwala's statement along with what he writes. Abhijit Majumdar says, embarrassing. Vinesh Phogat was overweight by 2.7 kg, exclamation mark. After severe dehydrating, haircut, etc., she was still over by 100 grams, not a minor oversight. She was trying to force herself into a lower weight category. She has only herself to blame, and he has used the hashtag Vinesh Phogat. Now, I don't want to be, absolutely emotionally, so harsh that I say कि ये पूरी की पूरी गलती Vinesh Phogat की है. But I think Abhijit Majumdar has set the pigeon among the cats by calling out the bluff of Congress and its retainers and its political darbaris who are trying to blame Prime Minister Modi and the BJP. First and foremost, let's go by what Dinsha Pardiwala says. He says it is very natural for boxers to try and box in a lower weight category because it increases their chances. And Vinesh Phogat tried doing that. Though in the past, she has consistently largely fought in the 53 kg categorically. In order to enhance her chances, she this time tried the 50 kg categorically. And as we've seen, it obviously enhanced her chances and she made it to the finals before she was disqualified. But Dinsha Pardiwala, a nutritionist, a doctor, an orthopedic surgeon, and somebody who knows more about medicine than anyone on this panel here, also says that while trying to get into a lower category, to enhance your winnability, it also leads to the risk of completely dehydrating your body and making it completely unfit for the next bout. And he says that since Vinesh Phogat had barely 12 hours or thereabouts, her body did not get enough hydration, but her weight went up concomitantly. And without putting it in as many words, he said that the nutritionist, the coach, the medical team, they tried everything. But finally, it was Vinesh Phogat who has to take responsibility for the fact that she decided to fight in the 50 kg category and not the 53 kg one, which ideally is a natural body weight. Can you shut up?
Not over each other, please. Not over each other. Not over each other, please. Yes, finish. Yes, please, ma'am. Go ahead.
Thank you. 45 seconds more. This is the problem with the likes of Sanjay Jha. कभी ये इंडेक्सेशन पर एक्सपर्ट बन जाते हैं, कभी ये स्पोर्ट्स कमेंटेटर बन जाते हैं.
Let's not get this personal. Let's just.
I'm quoting Dinsha Pardiwala. I'm quoting Abhijit Majumdar.
Right.
And these are respected people in their own right. Now my final point is this.
Good for you.
You know, this is what Vinesh Phogat has said, and I've posted this video. It's a 8.32 minute video.
Yeah.
Of course, it was before that wrestlers protest that we saw at Jantar Mantar. But Vinesh Phogat said, इस देश के स्पोर्ट्स के लिए नरेंद्र मोदी से बेहतर प्रधानमंत्री ना आज तक हुआ है, ना आगे चल के होगा. And please Rahul, let me finish. She towards the end of the video says कि चाहे कोचिंग इक्विपमेंट हो, चाहे न्यूट्रिशनिस्ट हो, चाहे मेडिकल टीम हो, जो सुविधाएं मोदी सरकार ने हमें दी है, उसके बाद भी यदि हम मोदी सरकार को ब्लेम करते हैं तो ये हमारी बेवकूफी होगी. She's used the term बेवकूफी.
Okay, 1 second. Of course, there's a context and there's a subtext and a context. Okay, now let me open this up. 1 second. Dr. Ranganathan will also be joined by the uncle of Mr. Phogat, of Miss Phogat. Let me first come to you, Dr. Ranganathan. Look, in the Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan games, she contested in the 50 kilogram category, Spain 50 kilogram category, Bulgaria also. Now, the point is, you know, yes, we can go into the minutiae, etc., of this case, but there is a larger trajectory, Dr. Ranganathan. And whether it is OBCs, whether it is Muslims, whether it is, you know, Olympic athletes, and of course, the Kisan, there is an orchestra. And of course, you know, now you've had Mr. Khurshid come out and very publicly declare that, you know, there is this undercurrent and, you know, it could surface and we could have a Bangladesh. What do you make of all of this, Dr. Ranganathan?
Good evening, Rahul. I've been waiting and listening very patiently for 30 minutes. This wonderful debate, and I hope I will not be interrupted. 2 points to make. Number one, on this whole issue of Ms. Phogat, and on the other, on the broader issue that you just raised. On the first of all, it's a complete heartbreak, as every 1.4 billion of us are feeling right now. My sympathies and everything goes out to Ms. Phogat. She is a true Indian hero and will remain so even after this very unfortunate occurrence. But on your panel, I want to correct a few fake narratives that have been spread right through when the news filtered in, and it's absolutely despicable that a conspiracy theory has been floated around. Let me dispel that. Number one, as you also pointed out, Ms. Phogat weighs 57 kilos. She has been competing in the 50 kg category. So it is to start with a Herculean task, and I'm amazed that she could manage this and reach the finals, which is kudos to her. She reached the finals. So it is not that the staff has a problem or she had a problem with the staff. All of them together as a team managed to make it to the finals. Now, the other point is that it is exceedingly difficult to lose weight and gain weight in a very small period of time scientifically. They tried everything over the last 12 hours, and as the doctor said, she had to lose upwards of 2.7 kilos. It's not easy to do it in 12 hours. Be that as it may. The other fake narrative that is being spread around, that yes, that she did not have the coach. She said that my coach is going to dope me and I don't trust my coach. She said all that in April before the Olympic trials. After that, she has been with the coach of her choice, Mr. Akos. She's been coached by him for 6 years. So this is complete fake narrative, and it's despicable for for some panelists to spread this fake narrative. The coach was in tears. She is like a daughter of the coach, and the coach has won her so many accolades. He's Hungarian. She is she wanted this coach. So this kind of despicable thing that the coach, she was saying, I don't trust the coach, is complete rubbish. This is the second point. She has been supplied with the best coach possible, with the best training possible for this Olympics. The other final point I want to make on this issue. Modi is a dictator. Modi has Supreme Court in his pocket. Modi has manipulated the elections. He has the Election Commission in his pocket. He is destroying democracy. He is a dictator. And yet, Modi sends with the best facilities possible someone who has been critical of Modi for a year. This is what dictators do. And this is the problem with such people. They come up with such brain-dead theories that it is
Rahul, I want to come in to contradict Anna.
1 second.
Sanjay Jha cannot be having a monologue on this debate.
1 second, please.
But I need to give a
1 second,
rejoinder.
please. 1 second, please. Yes.
Can I please finish?
Yeah.
There's too much of
First of
fake
all-
crap going on.
You are the one who's talking
Let's
crap.
not be dismissive of people
You are the
and
one
their
who's
facts,
talking
Sanjay
gibberish.
Jha.
Sanjay
Someone
Jha.
could
He
turn
said
around
the
and
same
say
thing.
the
I'm
same
just
about
returning
you.
a compliment.
Please,
You are the
let's
one
not
who's
be
talking
personal.
crap
Okay,
non-stop.
Dr. Ranganathan, finish your point, please. I need to move on also. Yes.
First of all, this guy, whoever his name is, will he apologize for muddying the
I'm
water
giving
by
him a
saying that
rejoinder,
Phogat did not? Rahul,
Okay.
we can't speak.
Let's
like
just,
this.
please, let's get on to the point now. Yes.
She was
Yeah.
intentionally muddying the waters by saying Phogat did not get the coach of her choice. She didn't trust the coach.
Yeah.
That she trusted this
Sanjay
coach
Jha
more
is
than
a
any
rabid
other coach in
liar.
her career.
Rahul.
This guy apologized now.
Right
Will
wing
this
and
fellow
the
apologize?
Okay.
Rahul,
Okay, look, I will have to move on then.
Sanjay Jha is a rabid liar.
Yes, if everyone is going to speak over each other and
Boss,
we are
the
all
biggest
getting so
liar
het
to
up.
aapke guru
1
baithe hue
second,
hain
this is
Delhi mein.
now this is
Sanjay
descending
Jha
into
thodi Sharan
invective. The
bachi hai
point
ya
is,
nahi?
I want to come back to the point, the larger point.
Vinesh Phogat
One
got
minute,
the
please.
best coaching,
Sanjay,
the best nutritionist,
Sanju Verma,
the
Sanju
best
Verma, please.
equipment.
Sanju Verma,
Please
please.
do not blame Narendra Modi.
I think that has been underlined 3-4 times. Please, just give me
You are
30
suffering
seconds.
from Modi
Okay,
phobia.
1 second, please. 1 second. What is,
Apna
fine.
ilaj karwaiye.
Let me pick up on that point, because I started by saying that, look, the BJP believes that there is a larger destabilization ploy. Dr. Ranganathan, do you buy into this?
First of all,
The
Sanjay, my
people of
good friend,
India
will
have
not
answered
say.
that in June
Rahul, you asked me a
2024.
question.
Listen, I've asked one person a question. He's not
Sanjay,
your,
don't do this.
political affiliate. Please, yeah, go ahead.
Please don't do this. You're a good friend. And the other thing is, you can wrestle in this category because you won't be losing weight. You don't have a hair to cut. But I want to come back to this very important. Sanju, please don't laugh. Now, I want to come to this very important question.
So Rahul, you found that very funny, is it? Rahul
boy.
Shivshankar, you found that very funny.
What is
No, you found that very funny.
what is
I know some
Sanjay,
things about this guy. If I say so, he'll get embarrassed.
Okay, look, I'm going to step in here. I'm going to step in here, viewers. This is now going completely. It's
Sharan,
becoming
I
a,
know
it's
the
becoming, it's
I know the
becoming.
truth about you,
it's-
my bro.
It's becoming a complete, as I said, viewers. It's becoming a complete show where no one is going to end up making sense, simply because
Sanjay
we are going to
Jha
have
suffers from
people
That's a hard
speaking over each other, and
Apna
that's
ilaj
not
karwaiye,
the
Mr.
style.
Jha.
I look, the point
Apna
is,
ilaj
the
karwaiye.
larger point, Dr. Ranganathan, very quickly, please, 30 seconds. I need to move on. We also have another gentleman joining us in a very short period of time. 30 seconds. What do you make of this claim that this is part of a destabilization strategy?
Jinnah said, I will either have a destroyed India or a divided India. He managed the latter. Congress is intent upon managing the former, and I want to take the next 20 seconds to tell you that your primer, your brilliant primer that had 4 points, starting with the farm laws, appeals and everything, repeal, completely killed every debate. You have proved it. कांग्रेस का पूरा रोल ही ये है डिस्टेबलाइज करना.
Chamber here, or do you want to have a chat?
Okay.
ये तो echo chamber
Okay. Let me come in here, viewers. We have to trace. We while we all sympathize with what has happened with Vinesh Phogat, it's a terrible travesty. There is a rule. How we fell foul of it is a larger point of investigation. You've heard Boria Majumdar, but the politics around it is so unseemly, viewers, that it is worrying. It is very worrying because we can't understand the trajectory that is being focused upon, where this debate is going to end up. Will it hit the streets? And to what end, viewers? But I want to move on because there's another event that is going to lead to, once again, people fear-mongering. And that, viewers, is the story that we're going to focus on now. It is official. The NDA will table a bill to amend the Waqf Act of 1995 tomorrow. The decision has been taken in the wider interest of ensuring true secularism and equality between communities. It is also deemed necessary to curb the powers of the Waqf to grab land in the pretext of freedom of religion. Here are the proposed amendments. Collectors to carry out preliminary survey in place of survey commissioners, very important. So decentralization of power, Central Waqf Council to also include 3 MPs, of which 2 will be from the Lok Sabha. The Waqf Council to have 2 Muslim members, non-Muslim members. It will have, the boards will also ensure representation of women and non-Muslims. So make it a slightly more holistic apparatus. Separate board of Awqaf to be established for Bohras and Aga Khanis. Board to have representation of Shia, Sunni, Bohra, Aga Khanis and OBCs among Muslims to make it more representative. And I want to ask a fundamental question, because from tomorrow onwards, viewers, there's going to be a massive controversy where people will say that this is being done to undermine Muslim interests. Is this true? Let me bring in the expert counsel of Vishnu Shankar Jain, who has been somebody who has been pressing for these reforms. Is this amendment good in law, Mr. Jain?
See, according to me, this amendment is going as per the tenets of Islamic law. And the most important amendment which is happening is in section 3R of the Waqf Act 1995. Now, what is the Islamic law so far as the Waqf definition is concerned? The Islamic law is that you can create any property as Waqf property if it is of your own ownership, if you have acquired it within your own lifetime, and if it belongs to your own ownership, a neat and clean property that can only be dedicated to Allah. Now, this definition was manipulated by the previous governments, and section 3R was introduced, which was against the basic Islamic tenets. So today that definition I believe is going to be amended and will be amended. The other most important and crucial part is, Rahul, section 3R of the Waqf Act had developed the concept Waqf by user. So if you don't have any deed of dedication, if you don't have any papers, you used to say, or there was a claim that a particular property is used as Waqf by user, and it is not just a theory. We have seen it in Bangalore Eidgah Maidan case, where an entire Maidan was said that it was being used as Waqf by user. So that portion is going to be omitted or deleted is what I believe, and this is a very, very crucial amendment. Apart from that, under section 6, the most crucial part is that the decision of Waqf tribunal is final. That words have been omitted. I believe it's a very important amendment, because then you have been given a right to appeal before the High Court, which is a fundamental right, which is very, very crucial. Apart from that, the most draconian section in this Waqf Act 1995, Rahul, is section 40. And I believe and I hope that section 40 is getting omitted and repealed completely. It is going to be scrapped, which is a very, very important development. Apart from that, as I have always told you, that in the Waqf tribunal, out of 3 judges, 1 judge has to be the qualification is that he must be a Islamic law scholar. That qualification has been deleted. I think now the Waqf tribunal will comprise of 2 individuals from state government and the state judicial service, which is a very, very important amendment. Apart from that, section 101, the criteria of public servant has been amended. and section 107, which is very, very crucial.
Okay.
107 gives them the exemption from Limitation Act 1963. That has been completely deleted and omitted.
Okay.
And section 108, where the properties which were under the control of central government, Administration of Evacuee Properties Act, that were given to the Waqf board, has been also omitted, is what I believe. So
Okay.
these are very crucial amendments, and I think and I hope that this will keep a check on the Waqf powers and the Waqf board.
Okay. Dr.
as a whole.
Ranganathan, the opposition is fear-mongering, saying this is going to reduce Muslims to second-class status.
Well, they will still be 6 classes over and above the Hindus, who I believe are the 8th class citizens of this country. And the Waqf Act is one of the 8 reasons why Hindus are 8th class citizens. I revere Vishnu Jain ji and Hari Jain ji, and it is because of their untiring efforts that we have led this country to this situation where we are even talking about this. But may I slightly disagree? We don't need amendments in this Waqf Act. The Waqf Act needs to be abrogated. Do Hindus have a similar act for their properties? Do Christians have a similar act? Where is the need? When you have laws governing properties, their sale and purchase, their donation for charity or otherwise, why on earth do you need another act to ratify that? So if India is to be prevented from becoming an Islamic republic, we don't just need to amend the Waqf Act, I'm sorry, we need to abrogate it. This is where I believe that we have given in the reason for appeasement, we have now added discrimination against the people who are not Muslims, and that is plain wrong. Let me run you through a few sections will give you the extent of draconian nature of this act. And I don't know whether those actions, those sections will be changed by this amendments. So the whole act needs to be abrogated because section 28 gives the Waqf Act the power to order a collector. Section 8 says the state has to pay for the Waqf survey. This is not in direct violation, I ask you, of Article 27 of our Constitution that says no person shall be compelled to pay any taxes, the proceeds of which are specifically appropriated in payment of expenses for the promotion or maintenance of any particular religion or religious denomination. Section 40 says the Waqf board can declare any property as Waqf property, and if it is a property that was held by a trust, the board needs to notify the registrar, who may or may not notify the trust what is going on. Section 107 says this act is not limited by the statute or limitation. I mean, this is draconian par excellence. So I am afraid I disagree. I welcome that the government and other people are at least knowing about this act. But I am afraid amendment is not enough. This has to be abrogated. Every citizen of this country must be brought under one principle or rule of law that governs purchase or sale or donation of property, period.
Well, viewers, you've heard two informed opinions on the Waqf Act. Tomorrow, of course, a landmark amendment is going to be introduced in Parliament. We'll, of course, be covering it wall to wall. There'll be a lot of animated debate. We are being told that a series of amendments are going to be moved, and I've already gone through at least 7 or 8 of them with you to bring you up to speed. We'll have, of course, Vishnu Shankar Jain back tomorrow because the opposition's attack will be sharper, and I'd like to get his views on providing rebuttals. We leave it at this, viewers. Anand Narasimhan with the right stand coming up in just a few moments.
Body, your weight will go up and you bring your weight down. Now sometimes you miss that. You just miss that by a few grams. And this is what sport is about, Shivani. You can't change this. So you try your best. Now she would have been famished, and I'm sure she was eating a lot between her bouts because she needed the strength to fight 3 bouts one after another. Mm-hmm. And therefore, immediately after that, she herself realized that she was overweight. She went to the village and immediately got the team working on her to try and see, but they managed the last few grams they could not manage. So that is what it is.
Vinesh Phogat has been disqualified from a 50 kilograms category because of being a few grams over as far as her weighing in today is concerned ahead of her final. Can you begin by telling us what happened today and also what happened yesterday? Because we are being told she barely made the cut yesterday also.
So I think let's put everything into perspective. I think people are going crazy all over the place. It is a very sad day. It is devastating. It's heartbreaking. I understand all of that, but then this is sport and there are rules. And also you need to understand that Vinesh used to fight in the 53 kilogram category. Then she reduced her weight to fight in the 50 category, and Antim is now fighting in the 53 category. So to start with, Vinesh's weight used to be 50 plus. Now she brought it down to under 50, and yesterday when she weighed in, it was absolutely fine. She just about made it, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you even make it by 0 point whatever, is fine. So she won 3 bouts, 3 fantastic bouts she won, especially against the Japanese, who had a score of 84-0 wins, and Vinesh beat her. Now, after that, so what happens is when you do the weigh-in, after that you can eat as much as you want, you can drink water, you can do what you want. So then she barely made the cut yesterday. Then of course between bouts she would have eaten, she needed her strength back. So then athletes go and eat. So after she would have fought 3 bouts, she would have eaten a sufficient amount to be able to get the strength and everything back. You're not dehydrated because you don't drink water to make the cut. When she went back, she realized that she was quite a bit overweight. So the whole night, the team of doctors, Dr. Pardiwala and his team and everybody, they put her into a sauna, they made her run. The whole night, they've not slept. The whole night they tried to reduce her weight, even cut off part of her hair, etc., so that every little gram makes a difference. And this morning, they have a window of 15 minutes. That's the rule. Now, within that window of 15 minutes, when they weighed her, she was a few grams over. And that is it. And that is what happens in a sport like wrestling, boxing, weightlifting. You have to make the cut. Yeah. And I'm just seeing tickers coming up on my phone. There is conspiracy, there is this, there is that. No, there is nothing. Vinesh herself will probably tell you that she tried as hard as possible with the whole medical team of doctors to try and reduce. She was put in the sauna, every single thing. And at the moment, she's actually dehydrated. She's actually being treated for dehydration. So
where is she being treated?
Is
she in a hospital or she's at the village?
No, it's a polyclinic. Polyclinic of what we have set up, our own polyclinic. We've got some of the best doctors like Dr. Pardiwala looking after her. Right through the night they were with her. So all this conspiracy theory, for God's sakes, take it out. This is a sport. Even if you're 1 gram overweight, you're 1 gram overweight. And understand
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with 1 tree. 1 tree for humanity. 1 tree for Mother Earth. 1 tree for our future. Project 1 Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Do an analogy. If you break a start by 5,000th of a second, it's a foul start. And you will be disqualified. So there are rules which you have to follow. Now it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that Vinesh got caught in this. Usain Bolt was disqualified at the World Championships for a 1,000th of a second foul start. Now, if Usain Bolt can get disqualified for 1,000th of a second foul start, anybody can be. So
No, of course,
I have to just put things in perspective.
The conspiracy part I want to keep aside because there's a lot of politics that has got enmeshed as far as this entire case is concerned.
No,
but I
I've
do
been
want
just
to
saying
understand.
most of what is coming on my phone, and I'm sitting here in Paris, and which is getting very is distressing that people think there is a conspiracy. Come on, this is sport.
Yeah, no. But what people are truly remarking, people who understand how sports is and how much effort goes into an Olympic campaign like yourself, is that how can you make such a mistake at this junction before your final?
Shivani, it's not a mistake. It's a human body. You have to understand that this is human body. Your weight will go up and you bring your weight down. Now, sometimes you miss that. You just miss that by a few grams. And this is what sport is about, Shivani. You can't change this. So you try your best. Now, she would have been famished, and I'm sure she was eating a lot between her bouts because she needed the strength to fight 3 bouts one after another. Mm-hmm. And therefore, immediately after that, she herself realized that she was overweight. She went to the village and immediately got the team working on her to try and see, but they managed the last few grams they could not manage. So that is what it is.
Vinesh Phogat has been disqualified from a 50 kilograms category because of being a few grams over as far as her weighing in today is concerned ahead of her final. Can you begin by telling us what happened today and also what happened yesterday? Because we are being told she barely made the cut yesterday also.
So I think let's put everything into perspective. I think people are going crazy all over the place. It is a very sad day. It is devastating. It's heartbreaking. I understand all of that, but then this is sport and there are rules. And also you need to understand that Vinesh used to fight in the 53 kilogram category. Then she reduced her weight to fight in the 50 category, and Antim is now fighting in the 53 category. So to start with, Vinesh's weight used to be 50 plus. Now she brought it down to under 50, and yesterday when she weighed in, it was absolutely fine. She just about made it, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. If you even make it by 0 point whatever, is fine. So she won 3 bouts, 3 fantastic bouts she won, especially against the Japanese who had a score of 84-0 wins, and Vinesh beat her. Now, after that, so what happens is when you do the weigh-in, after that you can eat as much as you want, you can drink water, you can do what you want. So then she barely made the cut yesterday. Then, of course, between bouts, she would have eaten. She needed her strength back. So then athletes go and eat. So after she would have fought 3 bouts, she would have eaten a sufficient amount to be able to get the strength and everything back. You're not dehydrated because you don't drink water to make the cut. When she went back, she realized that she was quite a bit overweight. So the whole night, the team of doctors, Dr. Pardiwala and his team and everybody, they put her into a sauna, they made her run. The whole night,
This is CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I am Arun Narsimhan, coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studios. First up, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about what was going to be a prospect of gold, a repeat of Tokyo 2020, and perhaps set us up for a never-before medal haul greater than Tokyo 2020. But that dream turned into a nightmare in just 24 hours. Billions prayed for Bharat's ace grappler Vinesh Phogat, who's on the cusp of ultimate glory in the 50 kilogram category in freestyle. The first time she's ever competing in this weight category, but there was a cruel twist in her fate. And with that, a billion hopes dashed, and of course a lot of them very left frustrated with the rules of the game. Vinesh Phogat's agonizing exit from Olympics 2024 has shocked all. Most importantly, she's been disqualified. Now she'll finish last among all the competitors at Paris 2024 in the 50 kilogram freestyle wrestling. She was competing in this category. She was found 100 grams over the 50 kilogram weight limit. 100 grams. On day 2 of her weigh-in, she was found over by the limit by this narrow margin. Bharat now filing an appeal, but perhaps it's too late because in cases like this, there is no reconsideration. They have tried everything. The opposition peddling conspiracy theories, but experts openly debunking these theories and explaining the intricacies of this weigh-in process. World Wrestling Body's chief, Nenad Lalovic, has said that the rules are rules and they cannot be changed for anyone. And this is not the first time that a wrestler or an athlete has found themselves barred for not or disqualified for not meeting the weight category requirements. And this is applicable not just in wrestling, it's applicable in weightlifting, it's applicable in boxing. So wherever there are weight categories, it's applicable and the rules are very, very stringent. Now we've accessed the first images of Vinesh Phogat post her Olympic exit a few hours ago, and in these pictures we're seeing the IOA President PT Usha with her, but more importantly she's also cut her hair. Everything was done. All steps that had been taken to just reduce those few grams of weight from the body so that she can qualify or she can meet the weigh-in qualification or mark of 50 kilograms. Now Vinesh's disqualification from the Olympics, a member of her camp has said that she weighed 49.9 kilograms